Southern River Band, Let It Ride, bringing us in. You know what that means, Ronnie. It's time for the 4Drive Podcast, driven by Shelter. On socials, the 4Drive Podcast on Instagram, and all of our episodes over on BackChat's YouTube, mate. Welcome back to the table. It feels like we've, first time at the table, actually.
I know. How good is it?
It's nice. I feel like
Awesome.
it's getting a little bit more formal, but we've moved from the couches in front of the fridge over to the big dog's table over here. But it's actually a weird feeling to be back in the studio talking about forward driving.
And you know what? Speaking of formal, I had a bit of a chat to the 4Drive Podcast, and we've decided to name you Captain Duggo of the 4Drive Podcast.
I can't. It's a young captain. Then is the forward driving world, because I am very, very new to this side of things. But I will be doing
steering a ship.
I will be doing some captaining in my other life. So I'll see if I can transfer some of my skills over in that side to the 4Drive Podcast and see what we can do with it. But we're not here to talk about me, mate, because we've got something to cover today that's very exciting. It's unique at the moment. I think it's going to become not so unique in the very near future. But first, let's just touch on how you've been going, mate. It's been a while. It feels like we're at a skeleton crew. It's back to the usuals of just Jade and yourself and I, but not just, but you know,
there's not a whole bunch of people walking around us.
There's Rafa's not with us. Jono's not here at the moment.
He's not here eating chilies and pretending they're not hot.
Yeah, we don't have all the other content creators around, so it feels like we're back home. But it's actually it's probably been nice to have a little bit of a break from all the shows, and you've been busy yourself. But how's it been for the last few months? The last couple of weeks, really. It hasn't been that long. Let's be honest. But
it feels like it's been quite a while.
It does.
Look, I don't think I felt like I was going into a break, and then all of a sudden, I think what we're going to be talking about today happened, and then now I'm just like busy, and Christmas is coming soon, and it's just all happening.
Yeah. I reckon you must be your own worst nightmare sometimes.
Yes.
You must wake up in the morning and go, why did you do that, Ronnie?
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Mate, I mean, we could cover this. We're going to wrap up this year at some stage, no doubt. Christmas is coming. We've had some great guest interviews come out now on the podcast. We've got some great ones to come, so keep an eye out for those coming up in the future. But, mate, what we're here to talk about is the new 76 Series Landcruiser that you have just purchased very recently.
Yes.
You've been testing it out. Jaden and I have just had a little cruise around the streets in it for the first time.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah. We're so cruisy, but so not get in trouble, we were just cruising.
Yeah. Just cruising.
Mate, what came over you?
Mate, so you know my view before.
Yes.
And there's still a little bit of doubts hanging around the new 70 series being a 2.8. I remember when it was first talked about this car coming out, and some people were like, I reckon it's going to be a 2.8. It's got to be a 2.8 because then I'll definitely buy one. This is Chris, cameraman.
Yep.
And I'm like, 2.8? And I was like, mate, you're dreaming. It'll be like the 3.3 litre. And it came out as a 2.8. And I was like, what have they done? And as an auto, what have they done? I was like, nah, never. Yeah, and I've been talking somewhat respectful trash about it since, don't want to hamper it down. But after driving it, as I only had it for 2 hours to drive around, I was amazed. It had good pickup. It felt like a 70, but didn't feel like a 70 at the same time, just the way it drove.
Yep.
Look, it's still a farm truck, but that's what I like about it. So it had a little bit more tech, but not too much tech, because the more tech you have, the more stuff can go wrong. And then something just came over me, and I was like, you know what? This video is actually going really good on YouTube. I'm really curious about this vehicle, so I can justify buying this vehicle temporarily.
Because that was tough for you to say, wasn't it?
Yes, it was tough for me to say. I can justify buying this vehicle as a risk, calculate a risk, because Toyotas don't lose value, especially 70 series. They're hard to get. I managed to find one. I called up the dealership, Newtown Toyota. I said, if you can get me one by next week, I'll take it. If it's after next week, I don't want it, because it's going to sit on my mortgage over the Christmas break.
Yep.
So they called me back the next day. There's one coming on a truck from Victoria. I said, put my name on it. Didn't even know what colour it was.
That was just bit the bullet and went for it.
Bit the bullet, went for it. Then I went and spoke to the missus.
Oh, after?
After.
Wow.
I said, by the way, do you trust me with money decisions? Yes. And she's like, where's this going? And look, without going a long way around this, got it through to the finance minister, and here it is now.
So I'll ask you then: is there still trust?
Oh yeah.
In the Dahl relationship,
there's still plenty of trust.
Okay,
there,
good.
As long as I keep my word, and get rid of this.
I think me knowing you a little bit now, I'd back in with this one. But so that initial test drive that you did, which is over on your YouTube channel, did you have Chris with you in that episode?
I did.
Test driving, yeah. So that was enough for you, and I think by the sounds of it, Chris enjoyed the drive too.
Yeah, he did.
So that was enough for you just to be like, this is something that I need to be a part of. And
it really sparked my curiosity. I was like, wow, I've really ragged on this car in my own mind, not so much publicly.
Yep.
And we've spoken about it a few times on the podcast, and I'm like, you know what? The only way to try this out proper, because I was trying to get another one to try, but they're so booked out with test driving. I could only get it for 2 hours. And they wouldn't let me take it off road.
Right.
And I was like, well, I want to know about the tyre sizes. You know, everyone wants to put 35s on them. So I want to know that. I want to know, what about 33s? And I was like, I can't borrow a car and put tyres on it.
Yeah.
And number one, like, I'm just breaking all trust things between borrowing cars off dealerships and trying to do stuff, because it's hard to get a vehicle, you know. So I was like, the only way to do this is to bloody buy one. And then I'll set it out loud to Jono in the office. And he was laughing, and I was like, yeah, I know, it's never going to happen. And then at that moment, I planted the seed in my head, and then it obviously grew. And then the opportunity came. Well, I made the opportunity come, really.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I just went, you know what, stuff it.
You took the leap. Like, it is a big call.
Yeah. I took the leap and just made it happen. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
It's doing really well.
Yeah, I mean, when you rocked up, Jade and I sprinted out the front just to have a look through it, and off air genuinely asked you, are you enjoying the drive? And you said, I think you used the words, you're amazed.
Yeah.
And so we're not pumping up Toyota 70 series. There's nothing to do with them, but I did have a quick drive myself, and it is quite an impressive car. It's still got that 70 boxy sort of feel to it.
Definitely
farm
still
truck.
got that, yeah.
But there's just something about it. And the fact that it makes it so much more accessible being an auto, 2.8 litre, you're not chugging through diesel like a V8.
Even my wife said that she will drive that.
That's the thing, yeah. That opens up that whole market too. So,
and I looked at it, I said, oh, you drive that? You don't want to drive those. Oh, yeah, but they're too clunky and manual, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay, so, all right.
Yeah. And so what's the plan with it now? Because the big question is, like you say, throwing tyres on it, weight.
So
Jaden's rooftop tent, or what? Like, how do you see that unfolding? Or is that up to you now to you're going to test all that?
It's up to me now, and what I'm going to do first is all the stock testing. I went and upgraded the tyres, so because I'm notorious for busting stock tyres. So I'll whack some razors on it.
Yep.
So might as well mention that here because maxxis do sponsor the show.
Yes.
So whack some razors on there, stock size, so I can retain that fuel economy.
Yep. So is that the 265?
It's 265.
Be 16 rim, 60, I think, wasn't it?
16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're quite small. They're 30.5 inch.
Yeah.
They're quite small.
Yep.
And that's why I'm like 30.5 inch up to 35 is a big jump, but it works on a V8. But not sure about auto, so we'll find out. So I have a set of 33s as well, ready to go, so I can bolt them on whenever. But I want to do towing stock tests first. I want to do all these stock tests first before I put a roof rack and other things on it. I don't want to upset the fuel economy and wind resistance data by doing all these things first. So I want to get all that other data first, and I've been collecting heaps already. Already done 1,100 Ks in it.
Yep.
Well, you guys have just done about 50 Ks in around the block here.
Sorry,
So it's racking up the Ks there. So I'm getting a lot of data. The first tank is a 130 litre tank. 105 litres I used up. The fuel gauge was freaking out saying fill up now because I was on the dunes parking on all different angles and stuff. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't get as many Ks as I thought, but then it was still 25 litres in the tank.
Right.
And I got nearly 900 Ks.
Did you really?
Out of that. And it's thrashing the guts out of it too, It's
low
range. It's on a highway, I'm not babying it around because I want to know the realistic fuel figures, right? 12.5 per 100.
Really?
Yeah. It's all good now, but once we add weight,
yeah,
that's when the real thing's going to happen. But I had it off-road yesterday, and I'm telling you, that's what blew me away. Not out in the dunes, because any car at air can sort of, really be good.
Yeah.
I mean, it is exceptionally well, out of all the cars I've test driven, that drove the best out in the dunes.
Yeah, right.
Just power and to the ratios and everything. It was just amazing. But but we went from Lanceland in one day out to Mundaring, and we were like, okay, well, we ate that up, so let's do that. And then we ended up at this stage where it's like, I would actually second guess doing this in my Troopy,
right,
or my 79. But hey, let's just do it. And then we did it stock, and it's like, wow, because that auto is just, it just holds it.
Yeah.
I even stopped and then took off again.
So that's a nice little segue, because you spoke about the dunes a little bit there, but you've been up to Mundaring a couple of times as well to test it on the dirt. Tell us a little bit about that, the gearing and stuff that you were talking about earlier on when we just jumped in for a quick cruise.
Yeah, so I know one of the Toyota WA engineers, and he's probably going to listen to this podcast as well. So he contacted me and said, I noticed that you picked up on this and this. You should ask the dealership to look at the bonnet, because the bonnet's like wobbly and all that. That was on that video, so there's a bit of an issue there. But then I asked him about the ratios, because I couldn't work it out, because it's the same motor, same gearbox as the Hilux and the Prado, but it doesn't drive the same, if that makes sense. It's got more power, and it is able to crawl slower. So it turns out that the transfer case is still from a 70 series. That's why you still have that lever. So you still got a mechanical lever to get it into full drive. But the gearbox is obviously different, because it's the same as the Prado and the Hilux. But the diff ratios are also different. So they've actually done it proper and thought about it to make this vehicle still be able to crawl to a certain point.
Right.
But to see how well it crawls on bigger tyres, that's still to come.
Yeah, okay. So for me, it's good that it's great that for us now that you've gone and got the 76, because we talk about the beginner to the expert level. So maybe in more of a beginner's term, that ratio, what does that do for me, or for those out there that don't know?
Okay, so when I was talking about ratios, there's a couple of different ratios. So one ratio is in a transfer case. That's where you would go from 2 high to 4 high. Okay. It tells you, okay, you're in 4 drive, but that's still the same ratio. You're still getting 1-to-1 drive through that transfer case, no matter if you're 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. When you go to 4-wheel drive low, in a 70 series, it goes down to 2.4. So the ratio goes from 1 to 2.4. Right, so it slows you down 2.4 times the speed. And that's why when you go max speed in low range, it's not very fast. Yep. Okay. But it enables you to crawl and stuff. And then there's a final drive. That's your diff ratio. That determines how many teeth are on your crown and pinion, which then determines how much your wheels spin. So if you upgrade the size of your tyres in some vehicles, you need to also update the crown and pinion, the ratios, so it can handle the bigger tyres. So if you put big tyres, say on a Hilux N70, often people change those ratios because it can't handle 33s too well off-road, because it takes too much to drive it, because it's more to drive it. Right. But if you add more teeth, it's easier to drive it. But then you also slow your top speed down. Yeah, okay. But adding bigger tyres, you increase your top speed, but it's harder to get there. There's more lag. So you got to get that right. Yep. And the best way to find out is to go on a forum specific to a vehicle, or go to a diff specialist, a transmission specialist, and they can sort of tell you about that.
It's sort of making sense. So if you put the bigger tyres on the new 76, the 2.8,
you may have to change the ratios.
Okay.
Yeah.
Righto. Well, it's an interesting option. It's sort of, I don't fully understand that stuff, but it is making a little bit of sense as to how that would work and why it would maybe need to be changed over. But it will be interesting to see.
But on a flip side of this, and I just thought about it now.
Light bulb.
Yeah, light bulb mode. So in the new 70 auto, I believe the ratio was 4.1 something. These numbers will mean something to people who know what I'm talking about. In the old 70, I believe they're 3.9. So you could take the new and put into the old, and you will have a better crawl speed, but you'll lose your top end. Might be something for the 79. Anyway, sorry.
Anyone understand that? No, I'm getting there. I am getting there. No, that's interesting, I think. Automatic, enjoying that part.
Yes.
Cruising around the streets, four-wheel driving. No, don't worry about the streets, actually.
Yeah.
What's it like having the auto off-road for you, and what the little bits that you've done?
So when I had the Hilux and when I drove other autos, it's like, okay, it's nice change, and I'm like, there's no clutch here. Let's not tell anyone I was looking for a clutch again. But I used to be like, it feels like cheating, like I just put a cheat code in to drive, I like using the stick, and then, you got to think about your foot position and all that. With this vehicle in particular, it feels like an added layer of like cheat codes. It's just phenomenal. The way you can drive this car with that gearbox, the way it's set up. They've obviously set this up to be a farm truck, which means they're not going to think too much about the city driving. They're thinking more about the rural driving and mine sites in particular. And they want slower speeds. But the reason why they still have the V8s is because underground, they have to use the gearing in low range.
Oh, righto.
They can't go with the auto because it's compression. The compression and the ratios just don't work out to slow the car enough. It'll go too fast. That's why they still kept the V8s.
Right.
Inside information. So yeah, it's pretty cool. That's why they still have the V8, so you can still get them.
Yep.
But back on the auto, this auto is just the way it's done with all the ratios is fantastic. And the thing with the 2.8, like I was ragging on them too. The thing is, it's a proven engine. The 3.3 litre in the 300 is not a proven engine yet. And there's a few little issues they're having with that too.
Okay. Yeah.
But we won't go into that because I don't know enough about it. I just know that some are burning oil or something. But the 2.8 is a proven engine.
Yep.
I mean, they had problems with the DPF early on.
Yep.
In the Hiluxes.
It's actually it's nice to hear you talk about it this way because and like I said before, there's no sort of royalty stuff going on here with your new car. So
I wish there was.
Oh yeah, well, don't we all? Yeah. But it's a genuine like review at the moment in your fairly stock 76 2.8 litre. So I think people are getting a really raw, honest opinion here.
Yes,
which is great to hear, and someone that's come from the heavy V8, souped up to the max, stripped it back down to this 2.8 litre. The little Prado, as Jaden calls it. Actually, Jaden, have you got a mic there? You do. I can't see you anymore. I don't even know if you're here anymore.
Mate. It's
just
done on
tapping
purpose.
away on the
the man beyond.
He's probably watching the cricket. How do you find it? The 76. You're a 76 V8 owner.
Yeah.
How did you find the hot lap?
It was better than I thought it was going to be. But like I said when I came in, like it just doesn't feel like a 70 series.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a auto 200 series or something. Like it's a Landcruiser, but it doesn't feel like a 70 series Landcruiser. Those things are like, I don't know, for me they're clunky, they're rugged, they're like they get it done. There's not a lot. I mean, for my car, there's no electronics in it, workmate. But it just feels too modern and like just. Yeah,
that feels too modern.
It's not 70 series enough, man.
Mate, you did the Nullarbor in my Ranger. We had all the mods and cons in that thing. That's a 2017 model.
It is. That was way more modern. No, I really enjoyed it. It was a great car.
Yeah.
The acceleration is mad.
Yeah,
like,
it
just
is.
the power and everything.
That's way better than the Ranger.
It's insane. But it's just the feel. If you want to buy a 70 series, why would you buy that?
Ooh.
That's a question.
Okay, so I have an analogy on this car at this stage. The V8 70 series is like a big bloke who doesn't shave his chest. The 76.
What if you don't have any chest hair?
If you don't, and the
revealing something there, Duggo?
Oh, don't really.
The 2.8 one is the modern big bloke, but looks after himself, shaves his chest.
The modern 23.
The modern man.
Yeah.
The man for the 21st century.
The analogy kind of it works in my head anyway.
Well, like the old 70 series are like lumberjacks and that kind of stuff, but the new 70 series is like city blokes.
I wouldn't say city blokes.
I did though, so
I would say before, But yeah, changing my mind a little bit here.
Well, here,
For me, sitting in it, it still feels, and I'm not a 70 series owner, and to be honest, I was saying before to you fellas that I still, if I was going to go the 70 series, I'm probably still leaning towards a V8, but I haven't had that experience yet. Where you boys have. So for me, I feel like if I had done the V8 thing and I'd scratched that itch like I called it before, this new 2.8 litre would be hot property. Like that'd probably be the car that I'm chasing, probably in the 79.
well, you can see what it's done to Ronnie.
Yeah, well, yeah,
He has no idea what he's doing anymore. Like he's got 3 different cars. He's got to get.
I
rid
love
of
it
one.
though. Like, I'm happy to get another auto.
What do you?
We have to change that top, that black top over there.
Yeah, we are.
Mate,
Yeah.
mate.
No,
Well,
I love it.
I've had to rethink a whole new range of merch. Like I can't do manuals versus autos anymore.
having 2 V8s and a 2.8, you know, I've had to shave like a third of my chest.
yeah.
That's good.
Maybe shave a 30 a beard. I'd love to see that.
Oh man, well, right in the middle there.
One of those ones. Well,
Hey, while
that's
we're on-
the other thing.
Oh, no,
sorry.
No, you go. You
No,
go.
well-
No, I was going to change up a little bit.
Well, I'll go first then.
Yeah, go.
Thanks, mate. I was going to say it doesn't have the raw, like
Yeah,
the
good
V8
point.
raw.
That's a good point.
I think.
Yes, but
It's
nor
got, like,
does the new
Yeah.
V8.
Really.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you hit a good nail on the head there, because if you still didn't have the DPF, I'd also be like, nah, we need the raw. I will forego all this awesome technology that makes this car actually so much better over having a hairy chest and a V8.
Well, on that's what I was going to lean towards. Is more shaving maybe more than a third, because the caravan trip. Have you been on that yet,
Oh no.
or are you going on that?
Have you been talking to him?
Oh, we've had a chat.
It might be in the notes.
It might be in the notes.
But have you been on it?
No.
Oh, you haven't been on it
No,
yet?
that's
Okay.
that's happening New Year's Eve.
Oh, right. So what are
Yeah.
you going to tow the van with?
I'm going to tow it with a 79.
Okay.
I am trying to. I actually tried to do a phone call on the way here to ask my parts guy. I know a guy in parts who does, looks after me a little bit in price. Trying to get a tow bar for the 76
Okay.
because I want to do that tow test, right?
Yep.
So I figured this is a perfect opportunity, but it'll likely be the 79.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So actually, I'm taking that to the place on Monday. We're gonna I'm learning stuff about caravans. I didn't know about the bloody 12-pin point. I'm like, what are you talking about? 12-pin point? We're not in Europe. And he's like, no, in the caravan, some caravans they have all these other pins. And I was like, oh wow, okay. I know camper trailers and stuff, and I got a flat pin. And he's like, oh, you got a flat pin? We better bring your car and we'll sort it out. We got to sort this out, otherwise you can't tow it.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, oh shit, okay.
There you go.
So I'm going to learn a lot
There's
here.
still stuff for you to learn. Might
That's
need a
it.
caravan podcast.
Yeah, well, you talking to Sarah and Keelan about this?
Yeah, I know.
After our podcast with them, I've
Well, I got
come
the- I got
away
the Sarah and
thinking.
Keelan hat
you
on,
do have
don't
the,
I? Yeah.
yeah, that's nice.
Shout out to them. Hope they're
Yeah,
going
yeah.
well.
Well, that's coming out in a few
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
Look forward to that
episode.
one.
That's a
Tell
bloody
you.
good one.
Yeah.
But
There's
I
a few
came
things
away from
I
that.
said in that I probably shouldn't have. I misunderstood the analogy of one of the things.
That is
Yeah, a
that's
little
cracker,
bit.
that
But that
one.
was a good
That was
went on,
awesome.
That went on for a couple of days afterwards. It was a good little Perth forward drive show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
was.
was.
Yeah.
It was
Um,
awesome. It's
but
probably
I-
my favourite chat with other people so far.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was less about forward driving, more about
More about
Just
everything
whatever
and
was
anything
going
that
on at
popped
the
into
table.
Keelan's head. Yeah, but that's what I came away from thinking is like Keelan is one of the all-time reversers and caravan drivers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's what
yeah.
I've come away like learning. And then I saw on their socials they took their caravan down a road or a track that wasn't meant for caravans and managed to slip it through. So maybe it's worth having a chat with them about some caravanning techniques, mate. For you,
Yeah, they do take their caravans some
considering
crazy
that you're
places.
now a caravaner.
Hey, I haven't. I'm towed it yet. I can still back out of this. Mrs. won't be happy, but yeah, it's and that's all her fault too, by the way. So because she already passed the caravan idea for Shark Bay later in the year,
Oh yeah.
next year. And I was like, yeah, all right, because everyone we're going with has a caravan. And then now everyone we're going with for New Year's Eve also has a caravan. So it's like, oh, why would you get a caravan for? I was like, oh, for God's sakes. All right.
Another battle on the hands. Some quick fire questions about the 2.8 litre.
Okay.
The 76 is what you're driving. The power haul button.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Explain that to me.
Okay, so the power haul button, what I've learned so far from it, and I should really read the manual because it might tell me some extra stuff, but I haven't done on that one. The power haul button, haul means, obviously we're towing with it and it holds more power. So when I flick it on, it drops down a gear and it holds the gears longer. So
Okay.
I'm guessing it'll be good for towing, and that's what I want to find out. It works in two-wheel drive high range, four-wheel drive high range. In low range, it doesn't work.
Okay.
It won't activate. I even tried to activate it, then put it in low range, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah, right. Just switches it off.
Yeah. I think it's to do with not overheating the gearbox.
Right.
Because if you're holding the gears and dropping back
Already
too
under
much.
pressure too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Righto.
But man, that thing goes like a rocket.
Yeah,
Like,
well, you gave us a little try at it. I didn't know it had it, so it was a nice little surprise.
all I can say is it's a good thing it maxes out in low range at about 40 k's.
Right.
Yeah, because I went up a dune a little bit too fast on one of them. We spoke about it off show before, and some wheels may have come off the ground. And
Yeah, well, I did.
The steering was a little
I
crooked.
did know. It's the first car that I've seen 1,100 Ks in that needs a wheel alignment, to be honest. But another one for you. How are you finding the space in the 76 for the family, if you've had a minute?
I haven't had a dog in it yet.
Okay.
But I know the dog's going to fit because it fits in the X-Trail.
Yep.
So it'll definitely fit in there. Kids have heaps of space.
Yep.
Because, so my 79 is converted to a 4-seater and the Troopy is a 4-seater.
Yep.
There's actually more room for people in the 76 than there are in those other two vehicles.
All right.
I feel like you're sitting higher, and you mentioned that too.
Yeah, you did
You
say that.
felt like you sat higher,
Yeah,
Joe?
I definitely felt like I was sitting higher.
in the
But
back
space
seats as
feels
well.
the same.
Yeah.
As my 76. It doesn't feel like they've.
You know
Give it
why
more.
we're sitting higher? And I'm going to ask my engineer about this one. I reckon it's because the bonnet's raised.
Yeah, you did say that. I
Yeah.
think that's a good shout.
So I reckon that
You're
'cause it
sitting high.
definitely feels
Yeah,
higher.
because otherwise, the bonnet's quite high.
It is.
Like
It
it's
is.
very high, and that's another thing in your video was the parts aren't connected to the bonnet, and that's why it's vibrating so much.
Yeah, it's vibrating.
What is the go there?
I don't know, like
Sorry, Duggo.
it's good.
Hijacked you.
When
No, 76 guy, go for it.
I'll take it back for the 1,000k service, which is already overdue, the 1,000k check-in. And
wheel
I'm probably the
alignment.
only bloke they'll have to change the oils for, but
Yeah.
I'll find out then. To me, it looks like the glue's come loose.
Yeah, it did look. Yeah, there was that part in your video where it looked like the glue came
Yeah.
loose. But also in the engine bay is that the cavity on either side for
Yes.
your wiring and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That is unreal.
It's unreal, but also looks like an afterthought.
It does look like an afterthought. It looks
Yeah.
like they've just kind of put it there and been like,
Yeah.
oh well,
But then it is a farm truck, right?
yeah.
Everything else is quite crude. So it's a crude car.
As it should be,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's as it should be.
and it's a GXL.
Yeah. Look, it's
Yes.
not a complete shaved chest, this car, okay? It's
It's a
Rough
half day growth.
Yeah. Handbrake, any better?
well, the handbrake's going to last longer because there's a park pin now. So we'll see how long the park pin lasts.
Okay. Righto. Good answer. I like it. The mirrors?
Oh, mate, fantastic. I actually asked my parts guy who can look after me a little
I
bit.
think we need to get the parts guy in.
Yeah, we should actually. He's quite knowledgeable with that.
we get him on the phone.
Yeah. Well, he didn't answer on the way here. I think he's probably knocked off, I want to get a pair, and I'm going to modify them to fit to the Troopy.
Right.
Because I bought some eBay mirrors for the Troopy, and they are dog shit.
Okay.
Are those the ones from the trip across the Nullarbor that we did? Did you have them on?
No. They're the stock
They're
ones.
the stock ones.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are shocking.
I know.
Why are they squares?
I don't know.
Like they're square. You can't see anything.
The 76 has the best mirrors out of all of them.
I know, and I think my mirrors are shocking.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna. I think my mirrors are the worst mirrors in
You'd be-
existence. And then I drove yours, and I was like, I genuinely have. I have no vision. I can't see anything.
Yeah.
They're the worst. I'm surprised you don't have more scratches and dents. Because I would. If I was driving that with those mirrors, I'd be.
Well, the mirrors I have now are even worse.
Yeah, they're even worse.
On the Troopy, yeah.
Or they're just lines.
Well, I can't see anything at the back, so I'm reversing, and I can see, okay, there's nothing there. All of a sudden, whoa, there's a car right there, But I'm missing it because I can't see it in the mirror, but I'm missing it by like that much, Scares the crap out of you.
There's some terrible mirrors out there.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if Toyota's got the worst mirrors.
Possibly. They could possibly have.
Little.
Mine are right. on the
And
Ranger.
yours are just normal mirrors, mate.
Cracked indicator on mine, actually.
You know,
I might need to see the parts guy.
I think these mirror companies have a lot to thank Toyota for. I think because Toyota making the shittest mirrors ever.
But it's not that hard to make a mirror, is it? Is it? Like, why is it so hard to make a
Asking the
good
wrong
mirror?
bloke, yeah.
I might be looking at you, but I'm asking Ronnie.
yeah. Thanks for getting me involved on the mirror chat.
Look,
Sorry, mate.
I think the mirror thing is because the back end of your car looks, if you had the same color cars as the new 76 out there, you wouldn't be able to tell which is which until you overtake that car. Like the rear hasn't changed for nearly 40 years.
Yeah. I remember you saying that in the video.
Yeah.
The front has on this one.
Yeah, the front has. Only the front changes.
The front?
Mm.
Do you guys like the front?
Yeah, I like the front.
You like the front?
Yeah.
Tiger?
Yeah, I'm still deciding on the side-on profile.
The side-on looks a bit weird, but I'm used to it now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't like the bulky.
I saw it on the
indicator
Troopy
thing.
and I wasn't sure about it. I saw a side-on profile of the new Troopy bonnet and
So
I'll come around, I think. Yeah.
and then it goes up.
Yeah.
I think that's probably and when you're driving, actually, it's really bad. The sun hits that and goes in your face.
Yeah, okay.
So I was climbing a hill yesterday, lifting wheels, and I was like, sun visor down, still blinded.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
blocking the sun, but I'm still getting it from the bonnet.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
All right,
Those
sorry
are
for
teething
hijacking your
Nah.
quick fire questions.
No. It's good. That was a good quick fire.
That's all,
But
mate.
obviously,
Long
it's
fire.
Obviously, a sore point
Long
for
fire.
the 70 series owners.
It's just-
mirrors.
Yeah.
Here he goes again. He's going to go again.
No. I'm
only
going to
joking.
mute my mic. So.
Mirrors. I think we just get Jade a new set of mirrors for Christmas or something.
I think you've forgotten that you're the captain. You can just shut him down.
He actually is kind of the captain here. He's the captain.
I'm the coach.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the coach.
I'm just a role player here. Compare your Hilux to your 76 as stock vehicles. This is the last one on the quick fires, and then there's a couple more detailed things I want to go through. But
Okay.
Stock Hilux versus stock,
That's a
Yeah.
bloody good quickfire question.
because the price point is probably
The price point's not too
Not too-
far of
yeah.
a gap, to be honest.
Yeah.
But look, the luxuries in the Hilux are going to be way, way better, especially if we're talking, we got to compare GXL to SR5 here.
yep.
Because SR, you're still getting a lot more than you are on a workmate. But SR5, you get heaps. All your windows are auto up and down, all four.
Yep.
You got adaptive cruise control, which means, the radar cruise. It's more comfortable probably in there. You're sitting lower, better fuel economy. It's a luxury vehicle compared to a 70 series.
Yep.
The 70 series, off-road wise, 70 series drives way better. Just the gearing and all that.
Yep.
Even on-road, I think, because I've had some time to work out how to do the ratios with this engine and gearbox, because I had it for quite a few years now.
Yep.
There's more power. Like, it's the same power, but they've worked out how to get more out of it driving wise. So I'll say I would like to put both of them next to each other and do a foot to the floor, see which gets to 100 first.
Yeah, righto.
On a racetrack, obviously.
What's your prediction?
I reckon first to 100 will be the 70. That's what I reckon. But I reckon as soon as we hit 110, 120, the Hilux is going to keep going.
Yeah, righto.
Because I know the Hilux can go 150 beyond a lot easier.
How do you know that?
Private track, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Around Barbagallo Raceway.
There was no one around.
So,
I may have been in a different state too.
yeah, that's of course. Of
So,
course.
yeah.
Bit of a stitch up there. Sorry, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit-
All right. So I've got a few things here that Jaden has helped.
Sorry, I actually have one as well.
Oh, yeah, go.
Do you know the Black Knight 76 you did on modified not long ago?
Yeah.
Well, a while ago.
Yep.
That held the record for the fastest, 76, right?
Oh, yeah, it did,
Are
yeah.
you going to try and beat it?
Well, then you have to tune the absolute crap out of this engine and
Are you
make it
gonna do it?
unreliable, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the tune I would have used in that vehicle, he did not cross the Simpson with that tune.
No.
Yeah.
That would have been specific just for that.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
yeah.
It would be cool to have Ronny Dahl 76 series record holder.
I reckon.
Or whatever record it is.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Jeez.
Imagine the content, mate. Imagine the content.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to the wife now.
Yeah.
So if we drop another 88 grand on the motor, make it unreliable, but I can have a title.
Yeah, that's it. I got on the books. What was I going to go with? Oh, yeah, okay. The GVM
Yeah.
out of this.
Yeah, it's upgraded.
Yeah, so I don't really understand that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is how they upgraded it. Did you see those ginormous indicator lights on it?
Oh, yeah, I saw them in the video. Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Really?
Mm.
Really?
That's pretty much it. They haven't really done anything else. And I looked at the differential on the 76. So the 76 has a weaker differential than the rest of the 70 series. It's not gusseted. It's not reinforced. And I believe that the one out there is still the same.
Right.
So after the show, actually, I want to climb under your car, Jaden, and just we'll compare. We'll compare girth.
Just don't judge underneath it. There's a lot of.
Let's not judge anyone's
If you still live
underneath,
on the
all right?
beach, so there's a lot of.
I have to cut through
I'm
all that
actually
rugged
gonna have to
hair underneath the
Oh,
76 because it's a V8.
This
all
is
that mud.
this is killing areas here. It's been a positive review.
It has.
The 76. Now,
But it's been some.
a little bit of there's been some honest stuff as well. But what are probably the big ones if you're going to be a devil's advocate for the 76? What are you sort of pointing towards there for some of the things that maybe going again they'll need to improve? Yeah.
So interestingly enough, yesterday when we did the off-road test, concluded that I was going to do a conclusion out in the sand for the sand, and I was going to do a conclusion out at Mundaring because I had in my mind that okay, this is where I'm impressed out there. That's where I'm going to be not so impressed. I was actually more impressed out of Mundaring than I was over there. And like I was saying to Jono, mate, I don't know what to do because I don't have many bad things to say about this car.
Right.
And people are going to think that I'm being biased, but I've bought this car and I'm like, that's why it's so good that I've bought it because you just wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
So what I will say is when we put bigger tyres on it, I'm expecting it to degrade in performance. Degrade. And the only way to find out is to do it. And the thing is, with these 70s, yes, people buy them for towing and stuff like that. They're still, like, even if I show that it is absolute garbage on 35s and stuff like that, if it's that bad, you might not get the wheelers buying them. You just get the sensible people.
Yeah.
And the wheelers, it's a very small minority. Sensible people, when I say sensible, it's like towing, maybe putting 33s and stuff like that on, Tourers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I like to put the big stuff on it and go and have some fun. And it does, part of it is because your car looks nice and tough and big and stuff. But at the end of the day, if you want to be sensible, then you don't want to put 35s on it.
Yep.
On any car anyway.
Yep.
And I'm not a sensible person, but I know it's not sensible. So that's the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting interesting mindset there.
Yeah.
What about how do we go about getting one? Is there a wait time on these? Are there some available?
I think I don't think there's too much of a wait time. So the V8s is the trouble, right?
Right.
It's hard to get a V8, and I know there's one in Geraldton for some reason that is a Troopy in Geraldton. The only reason I know this is because Chris is looking for a 2.8 Troopy that is Sandy Torp, and he had a white one with his name on it, but he didn't want that color. He wants a Sandy Torp.
Yeah.
So, some people want their color.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's a V8 up there. And the reason why I'm saying, how is there a V8 up there? If you've been on a waiting list for 2 years or 18 months, those are the people, so I heard this in a grapevine, they will get the V8s honoured. But after all those orders have been honoured, the V8s are going to stop.
Right.
Yeah, and then it'll just be the 2.8s. The 2.8s, I've heard that some people may have cancelled orders or something because I think they changed their mind. They're waiting to see what happens. Yeah, there's a lot of hearsay going on.
Yep.
And I don't actually know what is true and what's not. The dealerships don't even know really what's going to happen.
Yep.
they don't even know what colour the cars they're getting and stuff like that, you know. So it's since COVID, with all the microchip factory burning and all that stuff, every car manufacturer's struggled, and people they can't get this, and they'll try and go to the next one, and then say, for instance, there's a big wait time for Ford and Isuzu. There's all kinds of stuff that's hard to get.
Yep.
There's a lot of waiting lists. Yeah.
Yeah, righto. It's interesting. I think I looked around on car sales, still doing that stuff the other day, and I couldn't find the 2.8 litres anywhere.
Yeah.
But there's all these reviews starting to come out, and they're obviously available. You've got one here in the flesh. So it must
I think
just
I
be
got
a call
lucky.
around. Yeah, okay.
I think I got lucky.
I was going to say, it is bizarre to be able to do that. And that I don't think that's because of, I'm going to assume that's not because of you're Ronny Dahl, not being a wanker about that, but that was genuinely up for grabs, that car. If someone had a call before you, I'm assuming they would. Like, if I had a call before you, I would have got it.
I'll presume so. Yeah. If you call up a car and you said, "I'll buy a car tomorrow," I'll buy a car next week if you can get this car, they're going to be like, "This is a sale. I don't have to convince this guy. He wants this car. Let's try and find one."
Yeah, right.
So, and when I walked in to hand over the bank check and all that, the guy's like, well, it's not every day you get someone who says, "I want to buy that car now."
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you did all the work for me.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what he said to me.
Yep.
And then they asked if I could get a photo with me, and I had to decline, and I felt like a asshole declining. But the thing is, I had to explain to them, if I take a photo with you guys here, I've just splurged 88 grand on this car. People are going to think that you gave me the car.
Yeah, true.
So it's, you know.
Yep.
That was an interesting one.
Keep that out of the equation.
Yeah. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff coming out in this podcast. I'm really it's like a confession table.
It does feel a bit like that, to be honest.
Being interrogated.
So I'm actually going to throw it out to the listeners and the viewers. If you've got one already, or you're looking at buying one, or you're on if there is a wait list, I'm not sure, but touch base with us, because it'd be interesting to see what people are doing with them, how they're finding them. Because the next part of this too is, what are the plans for it? So what is, obviously the tyres, you're going to put them on. How much are you going to kit this car out? And maybe some viewers and listeners can get some ideas off this too.
So I have thought about that long and hard as well. And end of the day, I'm paying a lot of interest on this car just to do this project. And look, the project is going well for me as well. So I think that'll probably cancel it out anyway. And as long as I get close to my money back, I'm happy. You know, but I don't know when is, and I don't know which of the three cars. Like, you could have asked me 2 days ago, I would have said, it's always going to be a 76. Now I'm like, not sure 100%. I'm pretty sure it'll be the 76 I'll sell in 6 months, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure.
That's pretty crazy to think. Like,
it is pretty crazy. But the thing is, the end of the day, I bought it for my own curiosity, but also for people to, because my channel is an educational channel. And
I was genuinely excited by you buying this vehicle. Like, I genuinely, when I saw it, I was like, no, he hasn't. And you kept it pretty under wraps. And then when I was like, how good's this? I'm actually going to get to see, while you test this out for 6 months, it's going to be my decision time, or, I was saying mine, but it's going to be people's decision time on whether or not.
It pretty much will be.
Ronnie likes it, I might like it.
Yeah. And hopefully it doesn't turn out to be garbage, because then I can't sell it.
Yeah, true.
Hopefully I don't bin it as well, but...
start cutting the lines on Jaden's car and he has to buy it off you.
He'll swap some parts over.
Wow. I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, true.
But I saw, you're saying about car sales, I did see some, the week leading up to buying it, a few things popped up, your phone listens to you or whatever. And a few things popped up, and it was saying that someone was trying to sell one for $138,000.
The new ones?
Yeah, the new ones. And it was the exact same car as the one that I bought. And I was like, wow, who's going to pay that? But you're saying you haven't seen any for a while, so I wonder if someone did buy it, because maybe they are really hard to get. I don't actually know. And that's the funny thing about this car. I think the reason why I'm so curious is I heard about this vehicle, 2.8, that got released when I was heading to the Baxter for this big trip. So I didn't get a chance to process what it was, what it looked like. I didn't pay attention to it. I heard they had a 2.8. I was like, oh, who gives a shit about that? And then I did this whole trip. I came back and I heard someone else talking about, oh yeah, I'm going to buy this car and stuff. And I was like, you got rocks in your head, mate. Why do you buy that? You know? And then here I am sitting, I bought one. So it's crazy. And I think that's why my interest was so much as well, because it's like, I actually know so little about this vehicle. I had a high opinion without knowing much. And then now it's sort of, you know, my opinion and what it is actually like, I completely flipped around.
Yeah.
But again, I keep saying it, I know, but I want to see what it's like with the bigger stuff on it. And how far am I going to go with it? That's going to all depend on how things are going, what people want as well.
Yep. So you'll listen to your feedback on your own channel about what do you want to see on this, and I'll give it a go. Yeah,
for sure. And even if it's something specific they want to know about through the Four Drive podcast, definitely let's get to the bottom of that.
Yeah, I'd love to know about it myself. So if there's questions to ask, I'd love to just prompt you on them, because
for sure.
I'm intrigued as well.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued by the amount that you're intrigued on this. You know, like you say, your curiosity is really sparked my interest too.
But having driven the car, the V8 for the 10 years, you know, like, it just opens your mind, you know. But and we're just talking about a car, you know. It's pretty crazy. Well, it's pretty crazy what we're talking about for a start, and it's pretty crazy about, like, this is what people think about though, you know. They want to know, and it's crazy how a lot of us four-wheel drivers just get into cars so much, you know. It's probably like, you know, I never understood the racing scene that much. People spend so much on it, but you know, I get it, because we just do it differently, right?
Yeah,
it's real thoughtful over here.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's true though.
It is, yeah.
We've
100%.
About 45 minutes talking about a 76 series Landcruiser.
I just did a quick time check. Yeah.
Wow.
And now I'm on car sales again. That's why my eyes are... I'm trying to find you one here, but what did pop up was the V8 79 with the new bonnet.
Yeah.
So the scoop's gone...
Sale?
Yeah. So the scoop's gone off the V8 as well. It's the same bonnet.
Same.
In the V8. Here it is. Oh, no, it's not.
So the way they've done it is underneath... They are channeling through these little plastic. Yeah. Yep.
I know, it looks all right.
Looks all right.
Are they're full-time lights? Did you say they're day?
Yeah, daytime running lights. They're full-time. They're a pain in the ass when you're trying to film it, because they're constantly like, you got to find the right frame rate, you know, because it annoys me when I see that.
Oh, speaking of frame rate, that wasn't a clap to stop. Exciting times, because I'm in the market for a camera, boys.
Yeah.
After hanging out with you blokes for 3 weeks straight, I need to get a camera so I can do my own stuff.
There'll be some photographers listening, I don't know, and back me up here, guys, because I'm suggesting Canon.
Yeah. I'm on the Ronny train.
Yeah, no, look.
Photos specific, not video.
Specific Canon, right? But if you're going to do videos as well, Duggo, and I know you're going to do some videos, mate, and because, you know, you're going to start your own Instagram page, just Liam Duggan Travels.
That's what your format, the Forward Drive podcast, Instagram.
I'm just like, Sony is my preference, because it does like, in my opinion, the best of both worlds for both video and camera. Great camera.
I took some this is not the photographer, obviously not a photographer, but I did take some like photos that I just took photos of people on the trip, and I was amazed at the quality of that camera and the lens, whatever. I don't know what makes it quality, but certainly wasn't me. So whatever I was holding was making a good picture.
You had some good framing as well.
Whatever that means. Yes, I did.
You framed nicely.
You framed it really nicely. Like, I think you got an eye for it.
This is cool.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to like talk camera stuff around Duggo now, and you're going to have no idea what we're talking about for a while. But then,
and then I'll
hopefully pick up on it, and we're going to be having fun.
Why am I always the beginner in all of this? I'm just the guy starting out with everything. But I'm excited by this like photography journey. Like, I've been wanting a good camera for a long time.
Anyone listening, if you know something about cameras, you know something about photography, videography, whatever it is, send in your recommendations on what Duggo should get. What are you looking to spend, mate? Give us give the listeners some stuff.
It's
on my phone.
You need to be on camera sales now.
Yeah. Do you have that? Oh, we've got leadable cameras down the road.
There's another thing. here we need to discuss here about the auto and manual here. It also happens in the photography world.
Yes.
Just when you get that camera, just learn in manual.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I didn't
Stuff
do with
auto,
my,
man.
with my
Learn
car,
manual.
with my driver's license. So with my camera license,
get
I
your
will go on the
camera
manual.
license first, and then
I'll write that wrong.
Yeah.
But no, exciting times. Look, I know I have to spend a little bit on a decent camera. What I didn't realise was the lenses. I know this is the Forward Drive podcast, by the way, but this is part of what we all have to do.
We're looping around.
We're filming this with cameras, so
Exactly.
but the lenses far out. What's the go there? Why are they so expensive?
It's because I did steer towards the L lens of the Canon. They are.
Yeah, but the red
Flipping
line, I've been told the
amazing.
red line is the way to go.
Yes. Weatherproof too.
But yeah,
It'll last you for ages, man.
Speak about the finance minister. She doesn't know about that one.
She listens to the podcast, doesn't she?
A big listener.
Yeah.
Big
She's
listener.
going to find out on the podcast.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you're gonna shout out to Lauren.
Yeah, probably when if I take a really nice photo of her though, maybe that'll just get it across the line.
Oh, that's the thing, right? Like, just your Instagram's going to be so much better, babe.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 100%. You got full-time photographer
Full-time photographer.
on hand. Hey,
Lauren, it's not like it's an $88,000 car.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, listen to this guy.
It's a $58,000 camera. No.
Jeez,
Anyway.
it wouldn't be far off some of these things.
Back into cars.
Back into cars, and I reckon this will cap the 70 series there for the moment.
I know we're going to go back,
But we'll be back for sure, because every time you add something to that, we're going to want to know. And I think everyone else listening will want to know too. But what it is now time for is Around the Tyre Pit, brought to you by Maxxis.
Yes.
And I can't remember what we came up with for Around the Tyre. Well, it was Around the Tyre Pit, which is just genius.
Yeah, Around the Tyrepit.
That was yours, Jaden?
By Maxxis.
Yeah,
I need
Maxxis.
Sponsored by
supported.
Maxxis?
Sponsored by Maxxis.
Sponsored by Maxxis.
Magnets.
Jeez.
Magnums.
I'm trying to do so many things over here.
Maxxis.
I need to get you some sound bites for the tires on the rocks going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send through your sound bites.
Yeah, I mean,
Actually, speaking of, just for future, we will be setting up a phone line. So if you want to send in, I know you send in your questions on Instagram and whatever else, we get a few of those. But anyone listening, if you want to, in the new year, we're going to be setting up a phone line. So if you want to call in and just say anything,
Like a proper phone line.
a proper phone line.
Wow.
Call in, say
cool.
whatever.
I'm 24. I'm 24/7 on the line. Just
Tell us about your trip. Ask Ronny a question. Ask Captain Duggan a question
About photography.
We'll be playing them on the podcast.
Yeah.
It'll be a new little thing.
Will that be Around the Tyre Pit as well?
It might be.
Maybe.
We're
Use
still
it.
setting it up, but I'm just giving it a little tease.
Righto.
We'll be having a phone line because we have been we've been receiving a few messages.
Cool.
That's cool.
Well,
like
while
it.
we're on Maxxis, by the way, the lovely sweater behind you there, Ronnie, the limited edition Maxxis ugly sweater, which I wouldn't call it ugly, I'd call it quite beautiful actually. $62 on the Maxxis merch store. Just brought that up, and that is a bargain buy. I've had that on before, and it is a quality jumper. So
It's a bit of a Christmas present.
yeah, it's a nice. Oh,
We're talking
Yeah.
Christmas presents.
Well, speaking of Maxxis, I put a this isn't Maxxis, but this is tire related. On my trip, got a puncture, ripped, put this big hole in my tire, and they weren't Maxxis tires, which is obviously why it's happened.
Should have bought a Maxxis.
Yeah, should have bought Maxxis tires. So now I've got to get a whole new set of tires because I'm pretty sure it's unrepairable.
ooh.
We have a look at it later.
What'd you hit?
It's on the back. It's just a rock.
You don't want a
Just drive it
whole
along.
new set of tires. You want a new set of tires.
Yeah,
Get it?
I want to
Oh yeah.
Without the
I'm
hole?
in- I'm with you
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry, dad joke.
Nah,
get
it's
off this podcast.
On Christmas gift ideas, which was going to be part of Around the Tyre Pit, wasn't it? So what's...
Is there a limit price?
Oh yeah, it is. Sorry, I've come in too early with that.
No, it's fine. No, well, it was going to happen anyway. So it's
We're
a
into
good
it
little-
now.
Good little
Oh,
segue.
Here we are.
Um,
Christmas gift ideas.
You've done like everyone's doing videos on it at the moment, which is great. I've used these in the past. So has Lauren actually for gifts for myself at Christmas time.
Some are sponsored,
Give us
some
your-
are not though. Just keep that in mind.
Some are what? Sorry.
Some of these videos are sponsored.
Ah, yes.
Mm.
Good point. Good point.
Max's sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I plugged the Maxxis sweater, but do go and buy that. It's wicked.
It's actually quite good.
Yeah.
I would.
It's definitely
I will be buying one, I reckon, for my brother.
it's like a bowl
I
of
think it'd be
wine and a
hilarious
quiet
to see him
toast.
in that, yeah. A quiet taste.
It is a quiet
Both
taste.
of you have worn that, and I have not. No one's bought me one yet. So Christmas ideas, boys, please.
All right.
There you go. So there's one.
Courtney,
Give
if
us
you're listening.
2 real ones. 2 not
Price?
as in
Two
That
real
is a
ones.
real one. Give us 2 of your best Christmas gift ideas
Okay.
that you didn't mention on your video.
Oh, that I didn't mention.
And then I want a weird and wacky one.
Can we? Sorry, what did you mention on your video?
Well, these all... so the items I put in the video, some are sponsored items, but I wasn't required to make this video. But they're things that I would suggest to family friends. That is my thing. If I can't do that, I'm not going to talk about it. So, what do I do on that one? Well, the army shovel is my favourite, but you can't buy it unless you find it on eBay, so that's a very hard one to get. It was just like camping related stuff, like the front runner boxes.
That is a good...
The lantern, a good torch, like with the magnetic and the red function. If it doesn't have red function, I'm not interested. There's always red light at my campsite, you know. I've got to make money somehow, right? But no, I'm kidding. No.
Well,
he's going.
No,
what is it about Ronnie and after 5:30 that he just loses his marbles?
Look, there was I'll put the coffee mocha on there. That's actually a really good one if you don't want to use a pop machine, because pop machines are, you know, those little coffee mochas, they're only $40, you know. And even if it only lasts you a couple of years because it gets really grimy and dirty, you can just clean them up. You could replace it, just that rubber seal inside. If there's water in it, you're not going to melt it. It's going to last forever. Look, just camping related items. I think you can't go wrong with a knife. Every camper loves a good knife. Speaking from a collector.
Knife collector.
So I'm going to say a knife. I'm going to say, flint and steel, like those ferro rods.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where do I get them?
That was cool.
So the ones that I got now is the Nebo one, and there is no, not Nebo one. It's a Zippo one. So the Zippo ones, they're not sharp, so you can't cut your finger on them.
Right.
And that's what I like about for the kids, because the kids like doing that. And when I used to do tag-alongs, I used to stress out because sometimes the kid would put a thumb on top of the blade.
Yep.
Or they'll put the blade on my thing and then ruin my blade.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And it's really rewarding seeing people light fires, like when you guys were lighting a fire with this thing as well.
Yeah.
You know,
We're like Ronnie's kids, mate.
Yeah.
It
was fun.
Yeah, it was
Thanks, Dad.
I mean, every time I light one, it's the same feeling, you know. It's great. So I reckon that's what I'm going to say. Those are my 2 items: a knife and one of those strikers.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like, if you rather have just a rod, you can buy them on eBay. I've got a whole pile of them, and I used to make it myself, put them in a stick, and then you get a good knife, and then use the back of the knife. That does a trick as well. But if you want one that's safe and nice and neat,
Would I be able to get something of that note at Go Overlanding? Is that Aaron's store?
Actually, yeah.
Go camping and overlanding. Go camping and overlanding.
I reckon you might, because he's got all like that kind of stuff.
Which is another episode coming out in the near future, which is a good listen.
Yes.
Very good one,
Yes.
And I actually went in that week after and said g'day. Missed Azza, but bought some goodies, updated that little pouch on the front of my...
the dash?
On the dash, yeah.
Yeah.
Just the dash.
Yeah. It's a cool store.
I'll never get that. Yeah, it is a cool store. It's awesome in there.
You almost feel like you're camping when
you
you're in
could
there.
go mad in there too. Give us a weird and wacky one.
A weird and wacky one. Oh, how about you give us 2 while I think about the weird and wacky one?
I think I've said front runner boxes for every single gift idea.
Are you sponsored by them?
No, I'm not, but I love their gear.
They're very good.
That's a good question for me.
I'm thinking over here, you know, weird.
I didn't actually think you'd ask me back. I was just like, let's just get Ronnie's ideas on this quick one. Unprepared answers, gift ideas for Chrissy. I will say a knife, but...
Not the same knife Ronnie said.
No, just a different knife.
many different ones.
No, I got one of those cleavers. So Harry, I went on to Harry's video of this last year.
Yeah.
And bought the knife, one of the knives that he uses in his cooking videos.
Oh, the cleaver?
Yeah, the big like chunky one, and that is just like,
it's good.
It makes me feel like a chef when I'm using it, and it is unreal.
How good is it for bones though?
Yeah,
just no effort.
Yeah, that is a ripper. So that's something that I've used from a Christmas gift idea video, and I think going with the same flavour, I want to get into more fire after spending 3 shows next to, or two shows next to Harry, cooking. And then what was the other fella that we were next to in Sydney?
Wildfire?
Yes, Wildfire. Yep.
Yeah.
So 3 shows. We were, for some reason, why were we always next to the guys camp
We're getting
cooking?
smoked out.
Yeah, we're getting
any
smoked
food.
out. Yeah. But I just love the fire cooking, just the thought of it and the process, and actually having perfect for
right
around
now.
the tire pit, which was once originally around the fire pit. But yeah, I reckon something to do with fire cooking, like not a trivet, but like the tripod thing that you cook
Like a
on.
braai.
Oh,
Braai.
Like a good camp oven, maybe.
Yeah, something like that,
Yeah.
something along those lines. I
Those
keep it
chaff
cooking
line
base, but
ovens that go in your car. Sean
the
has
travel
Oh,
buddy.
the travel buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something
or road
cooking-wise.
chef or whatever the other ones are called. Yeah.
Because the best part about the camping that we did, I reckon, was actually the process of, I didn't do a lot, you did most of it, but like that when we had that roast,
The
the roast
pork
pork.
roast.
Where were we? Canalda Homestead.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The car graveyard.
Yeah, I just like the whole process of that was just awesome, just cooking. I mean, that was only on the barbecue, but we cooked on the fire the night before, and
Yeah, you had the steaks.
Yeah, the
Australian-
cowboy
Cooked on the
steaks,
fire,
but-
yeah.
Yeah, cowboy
something to
steaks.
do with
Cowboy
fire
steaks.
cooking, because I reckon that is such a focus. That's the heart of camping, really.
It is.
the
It brings
fire
everyone in.
and the cooking.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of hours there to,
Yeah.
not always are we driving till 11 p.m. at night to find camp. So it's kind of like,
In darkness we find camp.
yeah, you
Well,
got a few good hours.
Harry, I saw a video of Harry's that was he'd done like a recreation of it, but it was the best campfire or the best outback steak and chips, and he had that massive tripod. Do you guys see that video?
Mate, I
No.
probably have.
He went out and it was like this. He just one of his first videos or one of his first popular videos was like,
is it an
steak
old
and
one?
chips. No, but yeah, it was an old one. But then he redid it.
Oh.
He redid it recently, and he
Right,
just
okay.
went like full on balls to the wall, like
Yeah, right.
mad spec. He got this massive steak, and he had this massive tripod that's like taller than me, mate. Like I wouldn't have been able to touch
right,
the
that
top.
big.
Like it was huge.
I haven't seen that.
It was overkill.
Yeah.
And he said it was overkill, but it was unreal. Like that is something because you just hang it over the fire,
Oh,
you cook
yeah.
your steak, it
Yeah.
rotates nicely.
When he does food like that, it is phenomenal.
I looked at that and I said we have to get. Obviously, we're going to get Harry on at some point,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but when we do it, we're not doing it in here.
Funny you should say that. I spoke to him today about that.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah.
I saw he was driving the 76 around.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I had him in there too.
Oh,
didn't
yeah. Yep. Yeah, he was pretty impressed with it.
Yeah.
I said to Harry, whenever we can have a fire next, like legally have a fire,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we'll go somewhere and do some potties there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
he's, like, obviously, we wouldn't be able to help with any of the cooking, really, but cleaning the dishes and stuff, I'm happy to do
Help
that
out
for
there.
some food, mate.
Oh, mate, paper plates straight in the
Paper
fire.
plates straight in the fire.
Nah, we do need to do that. But anyway, that's two of the, like, if I'm thinking what it was kind of what I want or what I wanted. So if I
A
put it out
knife
there, if I put it out there
and-
that way, and
Yeah.
just some sort of fire cooking
Cooking thing.
apparatus,
Anything fire
An
cooking.
apparatus.
an apparatus. You don't want to spend too much. There's some like
I think
spend
like
couple
a
hundred
good
bucks.
Jaffa line's good. Oh, you know what? Everyone loves and everyone should own a billy can.
Yeah,
Like-
you've said that before actually.
Yeah, you got to have a big dirty old billy can. Clean on the inside, dirty on the outside.
Dirty old Billy can.
Yeah.
Dirty old billy can.
Yeah, right, there you
Head
go.
torch for me.
What about a weird and wacky one from you?
A weird and wacky one.
Christmas idea.
What do you
camping.
think? I've got one now.
Go on.
Oh
So-
yeah, I forgot I didn't even get yours off you.
Yeah, so the other day I was doom scrolling.
What's that mean?
Well, that's
You were just scrolling.
just scrolling.
You wouldn't know,
I just-
Duggo, because you don't have social media.
No,
Yeah.
Well, I scroll
I
aimlessly on YouTube at times.
I can see
Through car sales.
Instagram Captain Duggo coming up.
The skipper.
Or maybe Captain Auto.
Captain Auto. Oh, you can't talk, mate.
Oh yeah, I went into that one. Captain Caravan.
Captain Caravan soon, yeah. Captain Caravan, Captain Auto. Co-captains of the Four Wheel Drive podcast.
Captain Auto and Captain
Well done,
Caravan.
boys. Well done.
All right. So when I was scrolling, this ad popped up, and I've been buying a lot of stuff for the kids leading up to Christmas, and I like buying like stuff that's you don't normally get, you don't normally see. So this thing came up. It was like a little magnifying glass for kids, but you could also put slides in it. So it's like a what do you call them? The microscope? Yeah, microscope. That's the word.
I've got to put it up there anyway.
It's a portable microscope. but also works as a really good magnifying glass. So you can go up to like an ant and you can like have a really close look.
Right.
You can go up to like a leaf and not actually see like fungus on the leaf and stuff. And I know the kids are going to froth on that. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, that's
Don't
my
mind
weird
that.
and wacky.
That's
That's
actually
cool.
that's
$50
something that you wouldn't think about very often.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
You know those little spinny things that keep flies away?
Oh,
They're like
yeah.
a rotator, and they've
Yeah.
got the,
Yeah, what are they called?
I don't know what they're called, but that's like I
Something
guess that's
shoe?
weird and wacky.
Something sure,
Something
SHOO maybe. Could be wrong.
Yeah, when I was up in the Pilbara,
Fly
it
shoey.
seemed to work quite well actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen a few
Like,
of those.
I don't know
around.
how
It's
it
not a bad
works.
idea.
If someone can explain how it works, I have no idea. But
It's just battery operated and it just spins.
oh no, how does it keep the flies away, mate?
Well, the flies freak out. They're like, what's that?
Yeah,
But I move and the flies stay on my face.
it's in the Pilbara, mate. Might work up there.
But you're not spinning around really fast.
So I need to spin around really fast. That's, I knew there was something I was doing
Yeah,
wrong.
just chuck Kylie Minogue on and start spinning around, mate.
This is like your trick to stop seeing the heat lines. Bob your head up and down. Tilt your head to the side, 90 degrees.
Yeah. That's Now we're getting real weird and wacky.
Have you got any more Tyrepit questions?
Yes.
Okay, better fire away because we're going
Yeah. So
well
we
over
are,
here.
we are, aren't we? I hope everyone's still tuning in.
That's all.
Probably not after that.
So
people on long
what we've
drives
been
now.
doing.
Are you
Merry
still with
Christmas.
us?
Are you still here? Wake up. I put out a post on the Instagram of the Four Drive podcast saying, what do you want to know about the new 76 series? We had a few responses.
I knew we were back.
Yeah.
So we had to come back in.
Finish here.
This one is from Garn Diddy. He wants to know why.
Why?
Yep. Just why.
Just why? I ask myself the same question every morning I wake up now. Why?
There you
No, just
No, that's
to
good enough.
find out.
That's all he needs.
10 years of curiosity. I just really want to know.
You could have driven
enough,
mine.
It was a calculated risk and I'm liking it.
I would have given you mine to upgrade and play around with as you want, as long as I get it back.
Oh, okay. So that's a good question for you, Jaden. If I said to you, you have to pick between your car and that car, which would you do?
My car.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, that answers that one.
But
like John eating the
yeah.
chili, a little bit disappointing at the answer there.
I just, it's like what I said before. I just think like the new, the fire's gone. I just think the new one is like, it just didn't feel as much of a 70 series as what I'm used to.
I like his
it-
honesty.
Yeah, I don't mind that either.
I still rate it. Like just the little drive around there. Very
Yeah.
cool acceleration. but
Everyone will have their preference though, won't they?
why not just get a 200 series or 300 series?
You know what we're going to do? We'll take him out to the Mundaring and we'll pop you in his car.
Or
Yeah.
we sit him in the traffic at 4:30, 5 o'clock on the way back to his house down
Oh,
south.
mate, that's why I just don't drive in traffic.
Every day I do that, mate.
Yeah.
We'll put you in the we'll put you in the 2.8 litre.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Just see how you go.
Look at
with
his
that.
left calf. It's massive.
I know,
It
he's
is.
huge.
It's,
Yeah. I've got one like that too, but it sort of hasn't been work much lately. No,
Oh.
I drove it the other day to
you
V8.
guys.
Would have hurt.
Four Drive Podcast is so nice. This one from the Curry Cruiser. Comparison between the 4-cylinder and the Mahindra S11. Does that means nothing to
The
me.
Mahindra,
The Mahindra S11.
that other car that's meant to be
Oh.
the 70 series.
Yeah, the
Oh,
70 series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
like for like, yeah.
I've never driven a
Yeah,
Mahindra.
I've never driven a Mahindra.
Yeah, ask Roofy.
We might have to come back to that one. Sorry, Curry Cruiser. Destination 4-wheel drive.
Hey,
Rafa,
Liam,
my
great
man.
Yeah, shout out Rafa. Well done, mate. Is
Miss-
Liam going
I
to
miss
buy one or
Rafa.
what?
Is Liam is
What was the
Liam is
question on
now
this?
curious. Will I buy one?
Oh, yes.
Liam is now curious, Rafa.
You know what that means, Rafa?
But I love that. I actually love that Ronnie. Well, I said it before, but I love that Ronnie's doing all the research for me.
Yeah, absolutely,
Put it that way.
100%.
Thanks, Ronnie.
On the house.
Perth Diesel, PDP,
On your house, literally.
Yeah.
literally. 76 Series 2.8 litre versus FJ Cruiser.
Ah, mate.
Who asked that, Trav?
Perth
someone from
Diesel,
PDP,
someone from Perth
yeah.
Diesel. I'm assuming it's Trav, but it could be anyone.
Look, an FJ Cruiser is not a Land Cruiser, so yeah. Sorry, Jono.
I mean, but that wasn't.
That wasn't the question.
You know what? We'll take it.
We'll take it. Take it as an answer.
We'll take it. Jono
Yeah.
won't be happy with it.
No, he
I
won't.
just obviously want to,
Yeah.
I want
He's already
Jono to
ducked
be
off on
happy with
holidays,
it.
that bloke,
He's
too.
gone,
Yeah, it
gone.
was. Yeah, he's going to have to listen out his
that
holidays.
is it, boys. Sorry.
Beautiful.
To, hold you up there.
Yeah, that's
Good
cool.
wrap.
So if you're still on the road right now, guys, maybe pull over and swap drivers because
Yeah,
you've been
it's
listening
been
for
a
a while.
while.
He's been listening for a while. Yep.
Couple of laps around the car. All right, let's see it out. The 76 review, 2.8 litre.
To be continued.
To be continued. Glossing review early, though. I'm excited about where this is going.
It is, but I think there may be some weak links coming up.
Yeah, some stuff to come. Southern River Band will see us out. That's the Forward Drive podcast driven by Shelter. Thanks to Maxxis and Shelter, of course. All our episodes over on BackChat's YouTube, Forward Drive podcast, for your podcast listeners. Thank you.